Saturn in the 5th house in your natal chart disciplines the expression of your talents. And similar to a Saturn in Leo, is going to make one very serious around their creative projects and creative works. The, of course, totality of Saturn in a position like this really breaks down a systematic function with which one actually creates their own talents and with the method of how one expresses their creativity. This is a lot of what I wanted to speak on for Saturn in Leo, but given the 5th house's correlation to children and your inner child and undergraduate education, you know, your relationship with kids is going to be strict. And now it doesn't just mean you're going to be just hard on children, but you're willing to put in more work to instill discipline in how you really create a whole world of integrity relative to not only dealing with kids, but how mature one's inner child is. It could actually even represent difficulty in really being creative, especially during the first 30 years of one's life, where they may have creative blocks. They could be so pressured with having to live up to the potential over expectations of how creative they want to be. They can convince themselves they're not that talented when they're very talented. Okay, they just may not be as talented enough for themselves. They may constantly compare themselves to others who they feel are more talented, but once liberated, it quite literally has them own their talent. There's a totality and world of their own talents that can apply in quite literally any situation. One thing I've learned from those who have this placement is it can delay dating, right? It can delay romantic actions with people in that, you know, I don't consider it a luck thing as much as a timing thing, but perhaps maybe it can stunt growth, or you may experience difficulty in being in love with, well, not being in love, but developing love relationships with other people. That being said, I don't want you to think that Saturn in the 5th dooms your love life. It actually protects it, because it's going to attract, or you're going to attract, right, people who take this a lot more serious. When we talk about the 7th and the 5th, it's a lot of what is perceived delays is you really just not compromising for others who don't take the process as seriously. But some have noticed some delays, and that may all just really fit within the timing structure of how you express Saturn in your chart in this house. Regardless, it makes for a serious talent, and it really does crystallize the process of integration in a way that's so much more tangible. Comment down below your thoughts, and I'll see you next video.